Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to another exciting Monday night community race. We're doing the Moonveil Mixer flag set. On stream, we have four wonderful runners: Moonblaze Wolf, Rex Banner, Cubs Rule 21, and Rybon. My name's Vitasia. I'm joined tonight on the mic by Alisale. Ali, how we doing tonight?
Doing fantastic, Vitasia. It seems like we've been meeting up a little bit here lately. And we're here to have a mixer of some Moonveils. You want to kind of talk about these flags a little bit?
Absolutely. So this is another set of flags that's kind of been tested in the background. When you go and go to the forums and get the backstory, this is kind of a mishmash, a hodgepodge, an homage, if you will, to the past few years of tournament races. So we have a lot of different flags that are coming in from different tournament races, ranging from ZZ3 to Lollyho League to Fabul Gauntlet to all the sorts of different tournaments that we've had across our tournament history here in Free Enterprise. So we have some really fantastic flags. Of course, we have four consistent flags in completing Cave Magnus, forging the sword, defeat the Fabul Gauntlet, and defeat Golbez. So there is a boss hunt. There's also three more random objectives that are there. We have everything mixed in together with summon rewards and moon bosses. Restrict Cecil and Fu, no free characters, J items, limited gear. We do have a hero challenge, so that's worth noting. We have a Tele hero to start things. Wildish chest randomization, but only untrapped chests only go up to tier 5, so there's some limited power that's available early on. Other things worth noting, we have quite a few glitches that are enabled: Dwarf Castle Warp, Life Glitch, Sylph MP Glitch, Back Row Glitch, as well as quite a few starter kits that are available. So it's a wonderful mishmash of different signature flag sets from across our history, which is why it's the Moonveil Mixer. We're mixing it all up tonight.
And speaking of tonight, we just encourage y'all to stick around all the way to the end. We are going to have some fun news coming up. But I think our runners are going to be getting started here in just a second. As you said, Vitasia, it is a Tele hero. Tele can be a little contentious in the Free Enterprise community, especially as a hero, because usually you want your Tele down and as your anchor.
Exactly. The hero flag really does put a twist on anchoring situations, because it forces a decision pretty early on, or not a decision, but it certainly forces different decisions throughout the process. Telehero isn't bad because his agility doesn't really do a whole lot, but that does mean if you do go up to Mount Ordeals to get him fully powered up, he's on his own, which is a bit of consternation for some folks in the community. Telehero, unless you have some plan going up there, soloing a boss before he gets his spells, that can be a little rough.
Now, the advantage with this flag set is J items are turned on. And real quick, I don't know if y'all noticed that, but that was a King Queen Evelyn giving us the Baron key. So we know the first half of Baron is free.
Yeah, and that's going to be some fantastic gear. Looks like we got some pretty nice stuff to start off with. We have a Kane start, who, by the way, is going to have a Dwarf Axe to immediately back row glitch him with a Strength Ring. So we have some not insignificant power right out of the gate. And all four runners go in four completely different directions. Cubs Rule is doing Eblin Castle. We have Moonblaze, who's over in Damsian. Rex Banner is doing Watery Pass, and Rybon is checking out Village Mist, and then is coming over here to see what's available for sale in Kaipo. This is, I think, one of the most diverse openings, 4 runners, 4 different directions, that we've seen in any tournament flag set.
Most certainly. Rybon finding some excellent Blizzard Blizzard Spears there for sale. definitely a nice pickup for that cane. And there's your silk webs. Silk webs, one of those items that you definitely want at least one. The more, the better. And with that Tella, you may need to slow down those monsters in up in that top of ordeals.
Oh, I just saw Rex Banner pick up one of the best and most underrated pieces of gear from the original series, the Curse Ring. They're really buried deep there in the Watery Pass. Not something you see a lot of runners opening unless they have a Tella to be able to exit out. But that Curse Ring is significant in terms of controlling the agility anchoring, as we talked about earlier, and how important that is. So really nice pickup from Rex Banner there.
Yep. Of course, Tella is going to be your agility anchor. We know that from the get-go. He will always gain levels even when he's dead. And there is one of our boss objectives there on Moonblaze Wolf's side. That is a Golbez. That's a great place to find Golbez, especially with only 2 characters.
Yeah, that's probably the best time to find Golbez. So it's going to be a little bit difficult. I mean, we certainly have the ability to take on this Golbez. It's going to be a bit of a 50-50 toss-up. Although, yeah, I don't know if the magic attack here is going to be too much if, even our lower levels can survive it. Real interesting, though.
And Rybon finding a second cane there on Mount Hobbs. Dupes are on. And, yeah, the more melee you can get early on, the more damage dealers, the better off you are.
Yeah, so second cane makes a little bit more sense. And we did see, second cane is awesome because Cane likes to pretend to be a black mage. Blizzard Spear casts Ice 2 on everything. Flame Spear casts Fire 2 on everything. So just nice to have that side sweeper that we can have in addition to having a melee powerhouse there.
And as we can see, the magic attack on this Golbez, nothing to be worried about. Blaze takes down Golbez quite easily, and let's see what we get. Ooh, and that is a Twin Harp. That is another one of our objectives. So that is a required Golbez holding a Twin Harp.
Yeah, we do have a required 6, so we have, 8 total objectives here. So that's going to be, unless you completely faded Antlion, which when you have Tella, I don't think there's any reason necessarily to do that. But certainly a fantastic sign to get this much direction, I think, this early in a seed. You don't always get that kind of clarity this early.
Now, we do know that this cannot lead to our logical underground access, as Golbez is one of those bosses that we don't let kind of control that. But if you find a hook, say in Fabul or some of the early checks, I would definitely be interested in checking to see if that magma key is hiding up here as well.
All right, so all of our runners by this point, everyone's doing the Golbez. No early Antlion fades. It's interesting because the meta has kind of developed around Antlion being, okay, it's something if you can fade until later, feel free to do so until you get an exiter. But as soon as you have someone who can cast exit and get out of there quickly, by all means, go ahead and do it pretty quickly. It's a very quick check.
Now, we do see our second scoop of a vanilla there. We found in the Watery Pass, we have Octoman, having not moved up to the moon to hit things real hard.
Arafis, I believe, has asked the question, we started with some J items or Moon bought those blizzards? I think we started with a kit that had some of those J items, blizzards and maybe even lit bolts. We started with some decent kittage. Yeah, 2 blizzards, 2 lit bolts on Rex Banner's side as well. So we had some pretty decent starting gear to get us really rolling.
Absolutely, that better kit just helping out some early J items, and then of course your dwarf kit giving you lots of rune rings to sell and get a lot of early cash. But we find Plague here in the Fabul defense. Plague's going to have a real bad time with these canes.
Maybe. I mean, he's trying to jump, but it also looks like Moonblaze is going to reset out. He was trying to knock down one of his canes in order to try to life glitch his way or life strat his way, knock someone down, bring him back up so that he has to recast count again. It's if you're not sure if you can out damage the count, the first thing you want to try to do is try to knock over one of your party members so that you can bring them back up immediately and so we can recast the life or recast count. It becomes a little bit tricky. It's not too difficult, but it's like one of those things that you have to commit to almost right away at the start of the fight. So if you decide halfway through that that's what you have to do, it becomes a little bit tricky.
And Cub's finding CPU and an Edward here in Baron. Spoon Flag is turned on. Adamants are available, potentially. Edward can be a huge pickup, especially if you find that spoon early.
Absolutely. Strongest weapon in the game, right up there with the crystal sword. So absolutely worth picking up. He's a glass cannon, but he can do a lot of work for you.
And we see Rybon also trying to take out this Tella. Tella just not doing the damage to himself that we really need him to do.
Hey, we got through it.
Oh, and that is a turtle in the second spot. That hurts a little bit. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not fantastic. Now, here's the interesting thing. The second spot is really slow. It's something that, as long as you have some Thor rages, you can kind of set up and around it. The problem is it does still punch kind of hard. So it does make it a little bit difficult. And, oh, that was a bad time for Odin.
You mean to tell me that grimoires roll anything other than Odin?
Only when I'm racing against someone and they have them. I always roll Odins and they whiff, but everyone else seems to get Bahamut's every time.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cub's taking a wipe there. And I didn't see what we got from the Fabul defense, but I don't see any new key items on Rybon's side, so I'm assuming it was not something particularly... Oh, it was a lip bolt! Fantastic!
Not like we didn't have any of those lying around. I think at that point, the experience that we got from that fight is probably more important. Otherwise, I would have reset out of frustration.
Oh, definitely. But our bruisers definitely need levels. Tella just needs to stay alive. But Blaze also kind of following the same path, getting that lip bolt off. Does have the extra cane, but still a little bit scary here.
Meanwhile, both Rex Banner and Rybon are starting to make their way up Mount Ordeals. We're at about the 12-minute mark. Not uncommon for an early play around this time. If you're feeling good with your equipment, double canes with a Tella can do this. You just have to make sure, there's a Grimoire pickup on your way up the mountain. I'm not worried about the crystal room at all now. Come on.
And we have a big doll sighting on Cub's rule side and a Dark Knight Cecil in the least scary place you will ever find him. And unlike the potion party, free bosses are on in this flag set, so you don't have to do anything to kill this Dark Knight Cecil.
Yep, put your controller down, go refresh your beverage, whatever it might be.
And Moonblaze Wolf still pecking away at this Knazo. Does have him in the remedy phase and looks like is out damaging that 400 per turn. So we'll hopefully get there. And gets through the first one of our runners on screen to get that Edward. And a Luca key, which is a key item.
Yeah, here's the deal. So there's limited viability of the Luca key in this particular flag set because we have, the warp glitch turned on, so the key item is no longer in Luca key cave. The only possible reason we could go there or want to go there is if we're looking for a boss hunt still. Now, the boss hunt we were looking for was Golbez has already been found, so that Luca key is one more for the pile.
Now, as Possum Morpheus in chat points out, it could be a Demist, it could be the Alt Gauntlet. I would rather do anything else than fight the Alt Gauntlet there.
Meanwhile, Rybon is doing this solo Tella spot, and it is the hook. It is the hook.
And it's just an antlion.
Look,
have
he's
you met our
punchy?
But have you met our friend Leviathan?
Not in a Grimoire, no. You usually get a Chocobo.
Or the Mist Dragon.
Yeah, but see, this seed was nice to the runners. I'm you know what? I'm pulling the curtain back. I saw a lot of runners complain about this Telestart because they don't like doing Hero Tella. This seed gifted you with the way to get through on the way up the mountain, everyone. So, trust in the seed. It's okay.
Also, finding a cat claw there on the way up to Ordeals. We have seen a Yang in the bed. We find an early Sand Ruby. Cat Claw Yang just needs levels.
Yang is one of my favorite characters. I think he's one of the most underutilized characters. Put a cat claw on him and then grab some of the other, like Thunderclaw is amazing for all the bosses weak to Thunder. Ice and Fire Claws, if they have an elemental weakness, he can just do so much damage. He really, all you need is the levels, and then if you have the claws, he becomes an unstoppable force. He is. I like gushing about my man Yang.
I like Yang, especially with a Tele hero, because if you find an early Darkness Crystal, Yang is Punch Mage. Yang go Burr when has lots of levels. Of course, you at some point do want to find a White Mage, and we have not seen one of those yet with this party.
Not yet. We have some options yet. We do have our hook now, so we can go to start checking that if we really want to check our way into the underground. A little nervous about levels, but we have a couple trap chests that we can take on our way there. We got some decent gear on Kane up to this point in time. So really, I hope we get a White Mage. I might also consider taking that Baron key check, because I really think Baron key with that extra character check that we end up getting in addition to that, between that and the levels, that feels like it's an almost must-do before we start going underground.
definitely. And our runners, knowing that it's a free fight in the first spot, you don't want to go down a hook route if you don't have to, especially if you've got something like an Ogopogo, an Evil Wall. An Evil Wall with this party sounds fascinating. But looks like Rex Banner picking up his gonna pick up his hovercraft. Might be interested in who that here or that character who's down in the hook cave. Could be a Cecil, could be a Foo.
I think that's the greatest paradox of checking character checks. It feels like a major sports draft. It's like they could be anyone. It could be a Cecil. It could be amazing. It could also be a Porum when well, I guess we still need a white mage, so that would be fine. But duplicate Edward, maybe?
I would always love to see a Sid. And to Nits in chat, Evil Wall was not at Waterfall. We had a vanilla Waterfall, so the dream is still out there.
Dragon Lord Carter, I just want to address your comment in chat. I assure you, there were many people grumbling about the hero tele from the get-go, so you are not alone in that sentiment. Just want to say that. But we did see hourglasses and Bacchus wines available in that shop. It's a pretty decent Cave Eblin shop there.
I'm the kind of person that would sell everything and buy as many Bacchus wines as I could, but I like Bacchus wines. But hourglasses are also a great pickup, especially if for whatever reason you want to take on the trap chests. Not a huge benefit to that, especially with max tier 5.
Well, it's max tier 5 in untrapped chests, so the trap chest still can have pretty good gear.
Yes, that is true. But this is also not the party you want to take trap chests with yet.
No, I mean, we got ogre axes. We're fine. Oh.
You see, this is why you go down the hook route.
Yeah, so that's the character you absolutely grab. That is a fantastic pickup with Fusoya, and we've done quite a few bosses, so he should be pretty stacked and ready to go. I'm more confident about being able to do this now.
And that was a Ruby sprite. We don't know if that is a vanilla leg or if that is going to be... Oh, the Staleman. Hi. Or if that's going to be elements. With a Fusoya, it's a toss-up on which one you'd like to see. And for those in chat who are a little disappointed we're not going to see something evil, this Baron Key, this Twin Harp, they could both lead to the Magma Key. And our other runners may not get that Foo.
It's true. It will be really interesting if that ends up happening, because I think the Foo's going to make up a lot of time throughout the rest of this seed. And just a samurai bow from the trap chest. So got a little bit of experience. Plus the Foo, plus with everything else going on. I got to imagine Rex Banner is happy with this party and setup right now. He may be willing to just dive, or might be exiting, wanting to clear it all out, get some more of those Bacchus wines and hourglasses for the road.
And we have found the palest of dims here in Baron Castle. That moment of panic when you see a sparkle there on the throne. but we're just going to hear the doot 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 sound sometimes.
Actually, I don't think we're ever going to hear the doot doot doot. We have jumps and then Edward throwing the dancing dagger. His counter script doesn't trigger right at the moment.
Okay, you cannot not do the doots for the fans. It's very important. Frith, no. No. Vatation, no.
Okay, so Rybon had a dootless dragon. Yeah, I think that's an appropriate way to call it. A dootless dragon. We'll call it that.
Oh, hey, it's a Sid. I personally love Sid. Sid is one of my favorite non-Cecil characters. But with all the other power we've seen in the seed, it would also make sense not to pick him up.
There's power in this seed?
Did you miss the old man?
I mean, which one? We have several old men in this party. In fact, we have the 3 oldest men now available to us in the party.
And I did not see what Rybon got. He clicked through it so very quickly. The voice of God tells me it's Artemis arrows. But there is the Fusoya for Cubs, and Moonblade's Wolf going for a deep dive here in Evelyn Castle.
I kind of like this. I think he's worried a little bit about levels, which I think is appropriate, wanting to make sure that you can get through, the underworld. But this fully points to committing to doing the underworld levels. He's going to get everyone up. Oh, wow. These mad ogres are moving quite quickly.
Would you say that they're quite mad?
Now I want to rewrite Mad World from the perspective of mad ogres.
Oh, the puns tonight. The puns, y'all. I can't.
I thought I was taking it easy. Here we go, though.
But Rybon, being the first of our runners to go ahead and dive Cave Magnus, following the old saying of follow your objectives.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I know there's some runners out there who will fade harp for as long as they could possibly avoid it, but it's always do your objectives. That is the one constant in free enterprise. Do your objectives.
And because Dark Elf is a giant jerk, we have changed back to the non-happy music. But that was the Pokemon theme from Pokemon Red and Blue. And this is a vanilla Dark Elf.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot that the music changed over quickly. I was just literally eating ice cream because I wanted something after seeing so much vanilla.
Why does everyone get dessert but me?
You can have dessert. It's okay.
Well, first we have to nuke. You don't have to nuke the King Queen, but that is an adamant. That is half of Forge, and Forge is one of our potential objectives.
So that chain, Golbez and Antlion, which gave us the Twin Harp. So that was 2 objectives, boom, boom, plus leading us to half of another. Just an amazing little sequence of events there when you think about the logic.
Well, and that Golbez at that point is hard required. Anyone who fades Antlion is going to be punished. But at this point, I think Rybon has done everything available other than go down the hook route.
Yep, his party certainly set up reasonably well at this point. Does not yet have the Foo, of course, but does look like Moonblaze Wolf is currently making the dive, has avoided doing the objectives up to this point in time. Really will be interesting to see how quickly, because I think Rybon has the levels right now. Moonblaze, though, is making a beeline path to the underground. We'll see. Moonblaze, I think, I did see him do the Eblin trap chest, so probably not that far behind in the levels department.
Oh, Moonblaze Wolf has a adamant armor Fuso, yeah.
Oh, then okay.
We're fine. Life is good. And I think we've seen Nuke on a couple of our runners, so Nuke is not that far down. And it is time for counting with Bahamut.
This is kind of a speedy Bahamut, all things said.
Yeah, this Bahamut has places to be. But between an Ice 3 and that Cane jumping, takes out that Bahamut, and we get to find out who is here while Rex is doing the check of Baron Basement. I like this.
So do I. It's always worth checking this because if it's a free boss, it's a boatload of experience to get you through. And it is, oh no, that's not free. Actually,
I mean, you have Nuke. A lot of things are weak to Nuke. And by a lot of things, I mean everything.
yeah, but you can even do the setup if you want to make sure that everyone's healthy. You can do the setup for Lunar Frogs without too much difficulty, in all honesty. You just throw some cures around, and Lunar Frogs makes this free.
And we see Rubicant saying, hey, I know that this old man is the scariest thing in the seed, so I'm going to glare him. And Fusoya goes, that's nice. Just having a 1 hit point glare, this fight is solved. The fight on Rex Banner's side getting a little concerning, but it's okay. We got one of them down. It's okay.
So the breath whiffed, but he's down. No one gets the experience except for the Foo, who doesn't need it. But he picked up Meteo. Oh wow, and an Earth Crystal.
And the chains keep coming, and they don't stop coming.
You follow that, right? Like, that's one of the... If you make a gamble and it pays off like that, you gotta still follow it, right?
I 100% follow that. If I spend the time to kill those dragons, you better believe I'm going up to that tower. I'm going to go say hi to everybody up there. I might even check the trap chest while I'm there.
Are we going to get everyone's favorite game show as well here?
T Wildish Max Tier 5 is kind of a sad game show.
I mean, you're not wrong. But at least he's comboing. He's doing a good combo where he was doing the Twin Harp into the Earth Crystal, theoretically.
Yes, this is... I love the threesome where you go Harp into Earth into Baron, but this is almost as good. And Cub's also doing this check here. Gonna go ahead and take out these D-Lunars. We'll see if he has the same luck and is able to get through this. Meanwhile, Rybon is going through chests here in Evelyn Castle. I believe this is where we found, it would have to be where we found that adamant armor. So as long as he opens all of them, he should be rewarded with this.
Adamant armors are just so good that if there ever is a possibility of getting them, it feels like you gotta open these chests because it's such a game changer having one versus not having one. Moonblaze Wolf, I think, would be in a much different position if he didn't have that adamant armor on this ruby, for example.
And Cubs Rule fight going a little bit south, but gets the lunar frogs. We're good. Everything's good. And looks like Blaze has gotten the timing down for this Rubicon, but we have an encore of music.
And of course, the music ends up stopping a little bit sooner, but Rex Banner is going to have, I thought he might have a little bit easier of a time doing this, but I don't know. The magic defense is still pretty good here. Nuke is still Nuke, though.
Yes, this is a nukeable spot. For anybody who's interested on how you know if you can hit something here, Nuke is Nuke.
Yep. Don't bother with Quake Kid. Don't bother with anything else. Just know that Nuke is Nuke. And you're fine.
But Moonblaze Wolf getting through that Rubicant is our first runner underground here at the 38-minute mark.
"38 minutes, when you're in a community race, 38 minutes doesn't necessarily feel very good. It's one of those times where you're like, I could probably have done better. There's some other things I could have done. But when you look at all the different objectives that we can do, Baron Key, we can do Twin Harp, we can do Earth Crystal if you really want to follow it. With all the different stuff that we were able to do on the surface before we got into the underworld, 38 minutes isn't a bad time. So it's one of those things that you can't always look at the time that you go into the underworld and take that at face value.
And Rybon getting rid of that Edward makes sense at this moment, as long as we don't have a spoon. Edward's okay, but he is a bit of a liability just with that HP pool. Now, when we get a spoon for him, then he can go burr and make things go dead.
We're really kind of missing a lot of that extra power. Oh, and Rex Banner gonna be the first one.
Raise that treasury!
And we are rating this treasury. This is a max D5 out of 10.
Yeah, a couple of cat claws, silent staff. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I mean, I love a silent staff. Silent staff is my favorite staff in the game, but it doesn't feel great when you're hoping for something like a Stardust Rod, anything better for that cane.
Oh, we got a lightsaber, so okay. That was thoroughly, I'm gonna call it an Applebee's treasury. It was you kind of knew what you were getting when you went in there. You walked out feeling a little bit disappointed, but you knew.
But it'll do the job, and we're getting to see a lot of new checks. That is a Porum. That is a White Mage. We take those here in this community.
I mean, okay, sure. I mean, now the White Mage shows up after we have an almost fully powered up Foo.
Yeah, but that fully powered up Foo only having 190 MP. This is not a party that needs less than 190 MP for Zeromus.
Oh, sure. This is fine. You got a couple canes. All you need is one more Zerker and we're good.
But Rex Banner getting through the karate. All Foos are at full power for him, so no need to worry about anything like on that end. And there is Iridia and the knowledge of who's at that Blaze is currently fighting in Dwarf Castle.
Iridia is nice to see. We'll see who Iridia helped keep trapped here as Cubs Rule picks up his adamant. That's... Oh! Is that... Who is it? Edge?
That is an Edge.
You see, he's nice, and I like him. We haven't found any bit of Hanzo Steel, though, right?
I believe we saw swords for sale somewhere. I mean, Full Moon Longsword is not bad, and I think one of our runners found a ninja shirt.
Meanwhile, we did also find the Sand Ruby in the warp spot. So that's normally the Luca key. And our other item is the pan. Okay.
I love a good pan, especially before you've done Sylph Cave the first time. But Rybon getting down underground, and Rex Banner finding Mylon and friends here at the top of tower. Cubs finding the Soma drops for sale does go ahead and buy one for that Fu, giving him a solid 200 MP.
Sure, we're not going to meme and give MP to Kane?
No, we didn't. We're not giving MP to Kane.
All right, Moonblaze Wolf showing us the self cave, not the trap chest. Was that a crystal sword or a crystal ring?
That was a crystal ring. A nice item, not a key item though. And just a white spear.
I mean, we can say just a white spear, but it is also the best weapon we've seen for Kane outside of an ogre axe. So it's not worth the time investment, but it's mitigated somewhat by that.
And I think Rex knows where there's some gear for sale. And a comment in chat, immediately ditching the Falcon. If you've never realized that you've parked your Falcon when you want to use your pass, yeah, it's a real feels bad moment. So most runners will immediately get back in the Enterprise.
Can you ever say that we've seen simultaneous Fabul gauntlet fights at 45 minutes in?
Probably. But there's like a million hours of FE on YouTube.
Okay, that's fair. Yep.
And then they get the lip bolt of disappointment.
Not entirely disappointing, though, on Moonblaze Wolf's side. We turn in the pan, and we get the Darkness Crystal. Oh, boy.
Darkness Crystal is huge for Blaze, although there are still a lot of objectives on the overworld. I'll be curious to see if he immediately chases that Darkness Crystal or takes care of the Twin Harp first.
So that I wasn't blind. That was an objective that it looks like they completed by turning in the pan, right? Right?
I don't think there's a pan. How many? I'm confused. We are finding out.
Yep. In the meantime, Moonblaze is... looks like Moon is now going to take his time to go up and do the Twin Harp, which most all of our runners have done.
And Rybon getting his Sand Ruby. And Cubs has double ninja swords for that edge, so much, much better than, say, a Ogre X King.
Absolutely. So interesting to point out, Rybon is doing the Sheila 1 check, so will be rewarded with the Darkness Crystal. However, the Pan, we know, is still here on the blue planet. We just have to do Dwarf Castle. So it's going to be a bit of an inefficient trip on Rybon's side compared to the knowledge that we have on Moonblaze Wolf.
And while our runners are kind of tracing over each other's steps, I do want to go ahead and shout out our behind the scenes team. We've got Zald on tracking and Scala Kitty on restreaming. And if you've joined us a little bit late, I do want to encourage you to stick around to the end. We do have a special announcement tonight.
Ooh, I wonder what it could be. We'll just have to tune in to find out, won't we?
And just a little update from our tracker. We had a little bit of an update on our objectives. We actually had the Pan and Barren Basement objective, as well as trade away the Pinktail. So I believe our runners, we've seen the Barren Basement from both Rex Banner and Cubs Rule. And of course the Pan from Rybon and Moonblaze Wolf.
That's really interesting because they were both available. Both of them are relatively easy. So that's between that, Golbez completing Cave Magnus. So that's 4 objectives that is easily doable with half of the Forge done. We haven't seen Gauntlet yet. We do have a half of Trade Away the Pinktail ready as well. So we are very close to go mode right now.
Yep, I believe it is 6 of 8 required. Yes, it is required 6. And yeah, but Blaze getting through that harp, gonna get his adamant. Rybon heading back down to pick up that Barren Basement check. We'll see if he falls into the trap of the Earth Crystal.
It makes logical sense because people often try to combine Twin Harp with Earth Crystal. Makes sense. But again, you're right. It is a trap. Mitigated somewhat by the White Lance, but ultimately it will end up being a time loss. Meanwhile, we see Rybon now taking on those D-Lunars, so he's getting his Barren Basement objective. We now know that is an objective complete.
And Cub's gonna go ahead and head down this hook route. But I am curious to see which of our runners will be the first to go up to the moon. I
mean, we're talking the moon already. I mean, we haven't even seen Fey March. there's a free key item in Feymarch that I don't think any of our runners has even touched yet. And we're almost at an hour, and based on kind of where everyone's at, I don't know if we're going to get to it even before the hour mark.
Well, you know it's called Fade March for a reason.
I mean, in the potion party flags, yes, absolutely. I will fade it every time. No.
But it is strange that none of our runners have gone and at least gotten that free key item. But just trying to chase your objectives makes sense, and there is nothing listed in that Feymarch.
I mean, it does, kind of raise the question, though. If you are, you need 6 objectives done, you're at 4.5 done. So really, you need 2 key items or a boss. And you just need, so 1 key item, you need the Legend Sword, the Pink Tail, or the Alt Gauntlet boss. You need 2 of those 3. If there's 2 bosses and 1 key item, 2 bosses you can look at and not actually have to kill, that seems to be a pretty attractive location to try to finish off the scene before you go to the moon.
But looks like Rybon wants to go up to the moon. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that's happened, Possum. An alt gauntlet at Massa, hard required? I wouldn't know anything about that.
That's never been rolled in the history of Free Enterprise ever.
And looks like it was just raising the big whale. Thought Rybon thinking, well, before I do this, maybe I should check these out.
Someone heard me. I feel heard right now. Thank you, Rybon.
And does make sense, even if you were to find go mode right here, you don't necessarily have a pass. So, plus, if you wanted to change out anybody in your party, you've got to watch that cutscene anyway.
Oh, hey, Pigtail.
That seems required. And I have a feeling our other runners might be wondering why they didn't do that as soon as they picked that up.
Is that something that, knowing that almost every runner on the restream has put that off for quite a bit of time, and it's a free adamant armor, which is just sitting there. How much does that, you feel bad afterwards? You're like, oh, no.
And there is a freebie here in the Feymarch. This is the Baron Guards. Can be a little unnerving. They're going to hit kind of hard, but you have a foo with an adamant armor. Who cares?
Yep, cast stone. Call it good.
And Funnel Cake's asking in chat, other sparkle is just Ogo or Wyvern, right? Yes. And neither one of those are feel-good moments.
Yeah, I think resetting out and exiting is the correct move there for Rybon. Knowing what we know with everything else, it's going to be either Ogo or Wyvern. Maybe if you had one of the other slightly easier moon bosses there, you might at least peek it to check it out. But no need at this point.
Now, unfortunately, we didn't get to see what fun spell Wyvern rolled today. It could have been something exciting like Escape, or what's another really fun one? Fishing is great.
Yeah, I've had him roll Big Bang before. That was an experience. A Big Bang Wyvern in Antlion Cave.
I don't think that could happen anymore. I think we fixed that for Hero.
Oh, is that one of the old Sieves when that? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, once we released the Hero flag, we realized, oh, you might actually need to be able to finish your seeds. And Rex Banner just saying no to both bosses down there, goes ahead and warps out, but has not picked up his pan yet. Where was the pan? I've forgotten.
Pan was after you beat Dwarf Castle, so was not the Luca Key boss, but it was the Dwarf Castle boss.
Okay, yep, and there it is. Big shout outs to our tracker again, Zald. 4-player tracking is hard. 4-player, it is very hard. So huge shout outs. I tried for the first time in a long time and said, this is why I don't track anymore. But Cub's gonna go ahead and try and get some life glitches off. Try and get this party up to snuff.
Yeah, we haven't seen any sirens anywhere, so anything we can do to help with bosses. That was a pretty quick reset out from Rybon there from Cave Value. What did that look like? A ruby, so that was elements?
Yep, that was the elements. Mylon's gonna hit real hard there. He is going to punch like a very angry truck.
All right, so our final character check, I gotta think, because there's nowhere else to find any personnel, and it is our Quake Kid on the moon.
Yeah, sorry, kid, but you're a little late. Oh, but Rybon gonna go ahead and take the Quake Kid. Might be thinking about maybe some sort of grind.
Well, between the rest of the party he has set up, Rybon is most comfortable with reflex strats on Zeromus, so I gotta think he's setting himself up to be able to, between Fu and Palom, a little bit surprised we didn't see Rydia, but they're going to level up to nuke levels and really just cut loose with the kid.
Now, I don't think that Rybon followed the Earth Crystal, so does not have that Rydia.
Oh, okay. So, well, that makes sense then.
Hey, ninja hats. I like ninja hats. They make you go faster.
Yep, plus 3 agility, correct?
Yes.
For those of you who have to memorize everything in the game that gives you agility so you can manipulate your agility anchors later in the game.
That's also why I like crystal rings. But here's Rex getting his free adamant armor. And it looks like we are popping a siren here. I do believe we found one. I don't remember where, but I remember seeing it. Good job, Porum. You managed to do double digits to that King Ryu, and we don't have to worry about messing up our our weeks. Oh, Ice 1. We have seen Wyvern's Ice 1 spell. We are not impressed.
Hey, it knocked over Kane. Meanwhile, I love what Rex Banner's doing. He's like, no sirens, I can steal sirens.
Meanwhile, getting up to 42 on Rybon's side for that Porum. I believe with this, we will get her up to Cure 4. But Moonblaze Wolf having a little issue with this. Never mind. We have an adamant armor foo.
That's still a lot of damage for nukes.
Yeah, and this Wyvern is very fast. Blaze did pick up some Cure 3s. So gonna get a little bit more health on that foo. And as long as these nukes keep whiffing, I think we should be able to get through this.
This is a lot of nuke whiffs. My goodness.
And question from chat, why do the nukes miss? That Fusoya is wearing an adamant armor. And there's a point where if your stats are high enough, spells will miss. You see it a lot, especially at the top of tower. But even a well-kitted like Porum at Zeromus, you can see the counter nukes miss.
And in this this location is Asura, so it's not exactly a low magic spot. So whiffing nukes in this spot is a little bit difficult to do, and it just speaks to how powerful that adamant armor is on a foo.
And we see Rybon fighting this Odin. Odin's still a little scary. And he's not dead yet.
This is a very scary Odin. Oh no, and there's a Odin. But everyone survives.
Now, Cubs Rule going ahead and doing a huge gamble here. Gonna take a peek here at what is in this Luca cake.
That is a huge gamble. The only thing, it could be Gauntlet, it could be Demist. That's the only two things that we're looking for. Remember, the key item was available a while ago in the Dwarf Castle through the Warp Glitch.
And looks like Blaze is going to go ahead and head up the tower here. And that is a Valvelus. That is something you do not want to fight in that location. But thankfully, with the Warp Glitch on, you do not have to fight that Valvelus. And Rybon gonna head back down into the lunar subterrane while Blaze heads the other direction up the tower. And question from chat about the big range we saw on those nukes. I'm not going to go too much in depth with the math, but each spell has a roll and a maximum number of rolls. And what your gear has can mitigate some of those rolls. So you may only have like 2 damage rolls out of 8, or 4 out of 8, or 0 out of 8. And that last hit on that foo, none of those rolls were mitigated.
Yeah, who knew the basics of Final Fantasy was just built on a Dungeons and Dragons engine?
And we've got Baigen here at the top of tower. Baigen's going to hit a little hard. He's also going to be slow as snot. But Rybon heading down to the ribbon room, I like this check. It's the densest amount of key items. We are looking for, I believe, one key item at this point. We're either looking for a key item or we're looking for that gauntlet.
With everything, and this is a legitimate question, with everything that we've already found, knowing that it's either a key item or a boss, would you keep doing all the bosses one by one, or would you just space check everything? Because as soon as you find the gauntlet, that's your go mode, that's done. It gets your grind out of the way, and you're already up here on the moon. So would you do that, or would you just, hey, if I happen to find something else, I'm good?
Moon gauntlets are miserable, especially if they are in the crystal room, or the crystal sword altar, or the Masamune altar. And fighting Leviathan here is faster than either one of those fights. So I understand this, especially with also not having the pass. If you face check everything and then have to go back through, it's such a toss-up, really. And Blaze finding the rat tail from the top of tower. If that is our legend sword, that is very good for Blaze.
Meanwhile, Rybon gets through that and finds a crystal sword, which we can sell to assert dominance over the scene, and the tower key.
And that brings up, if this is the legend sword, that tower key will push Rybon forward unless he finds the gauntlet up here.
Oh, it's the legend sword. Oh, wow.
And our runners have had this available since they got underground.
Keyless Tower. It's not fun to do, especially when there's no key items in the trap chests, but my goodness, that's a payoff for Moonblaze Wolf, and that's effectively no mode at this point in time, right? Because he still has to complete the forge, but other than that, Golbez, Pan, Baron, okay, yeah, this is it.
Yep. Yeah, this will be go. This will be just straight up go mode for Blaze. Because he has done Baron Basement, has done Pan, traded away that pink tail. Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, power shirts are nice. Zeus gauntlets are nice. I will take one of everything in that shop. Maybe two of everything, maybe.
Look at this guy. Look at him with an adamant armor just spare, hanging out in his inventory like he doesn't have to have it equipped.
And Rybon finding a glass hat there at the White Sphere altar. Thanks, I hate it.
So, Moonblaze Wolf has not done any grind up to this point in time, I don't think, right?
That is correct. I wonder if we see a grind or if we see Fu and Friends. Fu and Friends, of course, referring to one of the more interesting ways to defeat Zeromus. Not super fun, but it exists.
Yep, it is a thing that exists that when you're speedrunning a game, it's not fun. There's no getting around it. But if it's the fastest way to go, sometimes it's what you gotta do. Rybon finding Demist.
Demist at Masa. That's also a thing that exists.
Wow, Rex Spanner making this super low percent play and saying, hey, let's go check the bosses up on doing the giant, which is, I mean, if the gauntlet is here, that's horrible, but I mean, it's a place where it could be, and there's very few places that we haven't seen that Rybon already checked, so it could very well be up here.
Yep, the only other spot that we haven't seen, other than, of course, our hidden package check, is these giant spots and the Crystal Sword altar.
I guess we haven't seen the package yet, so it's entirely possible for it to be there as well.
Possum pointing out that the gauntlet and the CPU spot would be a D-Machine fight in the first fight. Okay, Mom Bomb there is just rude. Funny, but rude.
I mean, this thing has a ton of HP anyway, and then plus Mom Bomb HP? Ew.
Now, I think both Rydia and this Fu both know Nuke. Nuke does do Nuke things, but it's still a lot of HP.
It's still quite punchy, too. Now, we certainly have Edge and Kane doing their thing with Bacchus Wine, so it's not completely, dire at this point in time. Still lots of nukes flying. But yeah, this is just a lot of HP to chew through.
And looks like we are on the search for sirens for Moonblaze Wolf. Y'all, is there math going on in chat? There'll be none of that.
Look, we are a respectable video game community. We do not do things like math here. What's wrong?
You can leave your math behind. Sorry, we had Voice of Scala going, you can math if you want to.
If your friends don't math, and if they don't math, then they're no friends of mine. Okay, I'm done.
And Rybon only finding Dark Imps. So, who's here?
There it is. There's the gauntlet. Rex Spanner fighting it, and Giant 2. Ew.
That's disgusting. I love it.
And we get the first fight is the alert with the D machine.
So today I learned that if you quake and you kill the first two, it summons a D machine. This is great. I love it. And looking at Blaze's screen, this is a sirenless seed.
Well, mostly sirenless seed. Remember, Rex took some time to steal sirens from the alerts in the tower chests because of his edge. So he's done a grind. Everyone else has opted to search elsewhere for their levels.
Fair. But okay, it is a buying sirens list seed.
Fair. No, that's fair.
But Rybon heading to the only location that could be left up this tower. We'll see if he does top of tower or if he does the well, he would have to do both because he doesn't know that the rat tail leads to the legend sword.
Yeah, but if you're this far in, if you went up to the moon and you gambled that nothing was at top of tower, I think you have to follow through with that gamble and say, hey, we're just going to do the tower and call it good. And wrong blue robe.
Yeah, there's only one time in your life that you ever want to see that blue robe. And of course, it's the one time you can't find it.
I think this is one of the worst spots for that water hag, too.
And Possumorpheus in chat pointing out, this is go mode for Rex. He will have the levels. Now, Blaze is already on his way down, but does not have the levels to currently take out that Zeromus without doing Fu and Friends. So this will be quite interesting. Who gets there first? We do not have any finishers even off stream yet, so any of our first place runners can be coming up. And just as a quick reminder, because we have all this excitement, but we do have some more excitement coming up. Be sure to stick around to the end of the race. We do have an awesome announcement tonight.
And the awesome announcement is more awesome than just more meme songs that we go through. It's better than that, I promise.
But there is Rex Banner's crystal. He is now in ready to fight Zeromus mode. And let's see, Blaze getting a lip bolt. Let's see. I'm not sure how many sirens he's managed to pick up in his travels.
Not a ton, but probably enough. We're getting pretty close to those levels needed.
But Rybon is going to take on the top of tower, immediately takes out this Baigan. Nobody has time for him. There's our Cecil. Nobody has time for him either. Now, Funnel Cakes in chat pointing out Rybon could pull a pass out of this tower key. If Rybon pulls that pass, I'm gonna put him in first.
Well, Rybon certainly has the levels right now, and it would just be the quick turn in. So yes, if it ends up being the pass, he knows right now that he's got to go turn in that rat tail probably. I gotta think. Could it be anything else? Is the pass guaranteed to be in the pool?
The pass is guaranteed. We have not seen a package. We have not seen a spoon.
And we still haven't seen a couple things. We haven't seen crit. Well, I guess Moon's clear. So
we have the Bahamut spot. It's a 1 and 3. It's Bahamut spot. Well, here it comes.
wow, it's the pass.
And Rybon just jetting out in front of everybody else. Yeah, this is going to be an extremely close match, y'all.
Rex Banner is in the process of running down there. Rybon certainly has his levels already, but Rybon's going to be flying just right up there. Oh, he's got to turn into Legend Sword. Oh my gosh.
And looks like Blaze wanting just a little bit more XP for that Porum. Totally understandable. 1300 HP is not at all safe for that Porum. It's about a 2.5 minute walk down the moon to get to Zeromus. This is going to be a nail biter, y'all.
And it's close. It really, and any three of these runners could pull this off. My goodness, it is going to be close. And they've all done it a little bit differently as well. If you think about it, none of them have taken the same path together.
And all three have different party compositions. Blaze still having 2 Berserker Canes. Rex Banner having that radio with Nuke, but also having some Zerkers. Rex Banner being fully confident in his fight, does not even save. We are getting the swag walk. And let me check. We still have no finishers yet in this race, on screen or off. And these runners know it. They are going to go as fast as they can. We've got flags out in chat. This is exciting, y'all. But Vatasia, what are these flags for?
Okay, so I have to say this real quick. So we're a randomizer community. We like to randomize things. This is Final Fantasy IV. We randomize the songs. We randomize all the sprites. One thing we can't randomize is Zeromus, because he kind of has some different things going on with his HP pool, and Big Bangs and Antlion Cave really are not fun. Anyway, so instead of randomizing Zeromus into the general enemy pool, we randomized his final sprite. So when he changes true colors by using the crystal, it could be one of nearly 600 different sprites. So the Z flag is meant to ask the community, whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
And is it wearing a hat?
And is the hat cute? Is the butt cute? And can the butt do taxes? And all the other ancillary questions that we have.
And real quick, y'all, we just had a first place finisher off screen come in. We have Gale Swift with a first place finish with a time of 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 5 seconds. But Rybon and Rex Banner still here to fight for second place. And that's an itty bitty butt.
It is an itty bitty butt. Depending on the anime, if you watched it, I would say a cute butt.
And Butt owns a cat. Or did.
I mean, that's bonus points right there, right? You know they're responsible.
But that is Magus. Magus, of course, being from Chrono Trigger. And the cat being Scala's Alphador. I had Scala informing me of that because Scala is based on Scala's cat, who is Magus's cat.
I did not know that Scala knew anything about Chrono Trigger. What? I learn something new every day.
And we see that counter nuke just sliding off of whoever it tried to hit. I'm going to go with Porum because Porum is just like that.
All the nukes, all the whites. Rex Banner and Rybon are just reflecting all of the spells right now. Moonblaze more set up, more hybrid strats with the Canes.
And this is just a great way to see all the different types of fights that you can have with Zeromus. I mean, everybody loves Nuke. And Chad, of course, trying to keep up with who's done damage, who's done as much damage. There's too much going on, y'all. I can't keep up with that.
Absolutely. Remember that the key point about the reflect strats, using reflected spells, it takes longer to cast, but remember, reflected spells do not trigger any counter scripts, and one of those counter scripts is, at about 60-ish thousand health, Xeromus has an HP refill script. So without that countered, it's effectively cutting his health in half, which is the benefit to doing reflect strats. That being said, if you have a strong Zerker party, it's just from a damage perspective much faster. And Crash Boom Bang, that's Rybon completing the race. GG's.
GG's to Rybon, being the first of our on-screen runners to beat Magus.
Yep. Total in third place, we had Judge Show sneaking in at 129.21, Rybon coming in at 129.34. So GG's to Rybon. I think he's going to be amazed when he starts seeing the rest of his. Oh, and there's the crash on Rex Banner's side.
And that's a Rex Banner finishing in fourth with a time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 3 seconds. And we are going to find out if we're going to have some interviews here. And we are joined by Rybon. GG's to you.
Hey, thank you very much.
Tell us how you felt.
I felt like I just wasted like 15 minutes on Moon, unfortunately. Keyless Tower was the play tonight, and I wish I did it, but it's what it is.
Now, we will tell you that that pass that came from that tower key, that's what brought you as our first place finisher on stream tonight.
Yeah, that's nice, but for the most part, the pass was a nice consolation prize from clearing pretty much all of the Moon. But just having stayed on Earth and doing the checks, even whether you did, Tower of Thought, as long as you did that keyless tower, you probably finished around like 120, 125. So nice consolation prize, and it's nice to finish first on Restream. But sometimes staying on Earth is the way to go.
Now, since this is kind of our first community race with these flags, tell us what you thought.
It's a very powerful early game. I mean, I was all set up for a rough hook seed, rough hook route. Then an Adamant showed up, and then Fu showed up, and I'm like, oh, this hook route isn't going to be very difficult at all, actually. And it ended up not being. It's a nice mashup of the majority of the flags we've seen over the course of the last 5 tournaments. A lot of the very powerful flags from the last 5 tournaments, and not a whole lot of the flags that kind of held racers back. But despite that, we're still seeing pretty close to like 130 times, 125 times. So it's still a kind of beefy flag set.
Was there anything that really stood out from that seed that you that just kind of struck you as interesting, or something that you kind of wanted to bring up?
Kind of like the bait and switch, I guess, like we got early game. We had 5 objectives pretty quickly. Golbez just waiting in Antlion Cave, Twin Harp being on Overworld, the Barren Basement also being accessible early, the Pan showing up pretty early from Dwarf Castle, and Pinktail just waiting for you down in Feymarch. It was like, oh, 5 key items. Or 5 objectives. We only need 6. This is going to be a really quick seed. And then one of those last objectives just, dragged out. Do you happen to know if anyone found the gauntlet?
Gauntlet was found by Rex Banner. It was at CPU.
Oh, wow. Well, that is that is a rough gauntlet, but that's definitely your grind. So, yeah, I'm not sure which was faster. I guess Keyless Tower probably would have been a little faster, but that is another, advantage that, not advantage per se, but another consolation prize from the moon. That was a decent grind and got Palom going pretty quickly, getting him up to nuke in about like 3 or 4 fights. So that was pretty useful as well.
Yep, definitely. Vitasia, did you have any other questions?
No, I mean, I guess that was the main thing that I was curious about. Taking that Palom early, did you, or, on the moon, you had already done, your levels were fine going up to the moon. Is that just something that you always look for? Is like, anytime that I know that, you're going to take more than a couple bosses on the moon, you're like, yeah, he's going to get nuked, so I'm going to take him, and that's my strat.
Not just that, but because I knew I had 2 Sirens at that point, a couple gold dragon fights would get him online pretty darn quickly. Especially with that second adamant that I had on hand. He would be able to survive a number of fights, even though he was at base level. So I didn't really have a great strategy for zeromus. Sure, I could have just zerked up with double canes, but I had a Blizzard Spear and a Gungnir, which was not really earth-shattering in regards to damage output. So I saw the opportunity to transition to mages, and I took it.
Well, you did it wonderfully and just really made mincemeat of that zeromus.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, he went down pretty quickly at least. Yeah, very high-powered flag set. Very interesting to see where else people can take this. I'm sure we could see some like 110 finishes out of this one, 115, depending on where the objectives lie. Whether they're buried or not, whether it was behind a keyless tower or whether it's behind an all gauntlet at CPU. If those happen to move us a little closer toward the primary well-tread path, yeah, this is a much faster flag set. So very interested to see for the next week and a half what we're going to get in terms of finish time.
Definitely. And just because you, of course, were being restreamed and not hearing us, be sure to come join us for the end of the stream. We do have an announcement.
Oh, I wonder what that could be, but sure, I'll pop in. Thank you very much for the warning.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. And you have a wonderful night.
Thanks. All 4 of you have a great night as well. Thanks again for putting on the restream. Later.
Of course, Moonblaze Wolf also finishing here directly after that with a final time. Just wanted to pull that final time of 132.52. So 3 of our 4 restreamed runners all finishing all within about 30 or 3 minutes of one another, all with simultaneous Z fights. And number right now, 4th total. Number 2 on Restream, Rex Banner, is joining us. GG's, Rex.
Folks, how are you doing this evening?
This was a fun seed, and you had kind of the most interesting route to zeromus, I think, out of all of our runners there. What? Let's talk about that play to into the giant. What prompted you to make that decision?
Boss hunt or that, and no pass, so check the giant before I go to the moon. So that was my plan. Doing the boss hunt, I wanted to check the giant before I went to the moon, and then had to come back and check the giant and then fly back to the moon to run back down.
Yeah, that was. See, everyone else opted to go to the moon. There wasn't a whole lot up there. Spoiler alert for you when you go back and watch this. The let's see, the key item that you did not get, the Legend Sword, was actually sitting at the top of, or it. Well, yeah, the Legend Sword was from the Rat Tail, which was from the top of Tower. So Keyless Tower was a play that I think a lot of folks didn't do initially. So there was some plays that were done, but you made up for it by making that giant call.
Yeah, Baigen, he doesn't need HP, so that spot just has a little more HP than I care to deal with Baigen at lower levels. Like, sure, once I had Nuke and that, I could have ran up there and taken them out fairly quickly, but I'd just rather Baigen stay there and not worry about him till I had to go there.
Well, and that gauntlet there at the end, if you hadn't have already done your grind, you could have always done a D-Machine grind right there.
Yeah, could have. Would have been actually a nice little thing. I debated about doing the grind just because the gauntlet still wasn't found, but I felt a little behind, so I figured by doing the grind before finding it, at least let me get through it a lot quicker.
Oh, definitely. You would want those levels to get through that Mom Bomb.
Yeah.
But did you have any last minute thoughts on that seed?
I enjoyed it. It was good. I, for some reason, was thinking there was no cursed rings, so when I found 2 of them, I was rather surprised. Overall, I had a lot of fun with it. I still would rather not tell her the hero, but overall, it was a good, fun seed. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Just to let you know, since you, of course, were being restreamed and weren't watching the restream, we do have a special announcement coming up at the end of the restream, so we encourage you to stick around for that.
Alrighty, well, thank you. And I'd just like to say thank you to Ali and Vitasia for the commentary, Scala for the restream, Slade, hopefully I said that right, for pushing the buttons, and everyone for showing up to watch these. They're a lot of fun, and we couldn't do it without all you folks. So thank you very much. GG once again to all the racers, and you folks have a good evening.
Thanks. You have a wonderful night. And we will see if we will have Blaze in for an interview. Meanwhile, Cubs has found his Legend Sword. Gonna go ahead and try and buy as many nice things as he can. And I'm sure we'll be heading up to that Zeromus shortly.
Yeah, certainly buying all the power shirts and Zeus gauntlets that you can. Gungnir White Lance, double canes. Now with an Asura Rod, Cub's rule is certainly set up to be quite powerful here, finishing up. So his Zeromus fight is probably going to be the shortest out of all of these.
Yep, I suspect he will be finished quite shortly. Now, I'm not sure. Did he find the pass? He did find the pass, so doesn't have to worry about walking that 2.5 minute walk up the moon. And yeah, about to gonna get to see our 4th iteration of Butt.
Oh yeah, with canes and edges all around, this is going to be a very fast. It's Zerk and let it fly at this point.
And again, just as a reminder, oh, there's Blaze. GG's to you.
Oh, hey, thank you.
So what did you think of this seed?
It was all over the place. I thought it was a lot of interesting twists and turns. The vanilla rubicante was a nice touch. The hook at Ordeals was nice. Yeah, I thought this was just a really interesting seed. The wyvern at Asura that hopefully nobody else tried to tangle with. That was fun.
Yeah, wyvern is wyvern.
I did not appreciate, or I shouldn't say I didn't appreciate, but I haven't done Sea Hero in a while, and boy, it really shows on some of those spots when you get in there with an awkward agility situation. So.
Yeah, it was a little bit awkward with the agility. You had a pretty good party setup going into it. I think you were rocking the double canes for most of the seed, weren't you?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I had some good gear right out of the gate with the dwarf axe and a strength ring, so I didn't feel like I really needed to loot much, which was nice. Yeah, just kind of got down to clearing the seed, and I felt kind of lucky to get through the Kanazo fight at the Baron Inn. That was a little bit of a white knuckle fight. But yeah, after that, things kind of opened up because I decided to go to Ordeals, and that decision really just kind of opened up the seed, which was nice.
And kind of give us your thoughts on these flags in general.
I really liked that flag set. It was pretty comfy. As someone who's done a lot of tournaments, it felt like a pretty, I don't want to say standard in like a boring way, but it was a seed that felt like playing tournament free enterprise. And those are usually my favorite kinds of flag sets, so absolutely enjoyed that one.
Well, and of course, we have to let you know we do have a big announcement at the end of the stream.
You don't say.
I just wanted to make sure you'd gotten the memo.
I had an inkling, shall we say.
But did you have any extra thoughts on the seed, on the flags, anything you wanted to share?
No, it was a lot of fun. I've been kind of getting back into free enterprise as a runner again lately, and I've really enjoyed the last couple flag sets for the community races that I know. I think it's been said that they're kind of a preview for the spring event, and I think they're two really fun flag sets. I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of things here.
Well, it is awesome to have you back, and thanks for letting us restream you.
Absolutely. Thank you for all helping out with the community race tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show.
Absolutely, we did. And we have Cubs Rule, our runner here, who is about to take out this Magismus. We have lots of power. Just gonna throw nukes, gonna throw berserks. We don't have time for him and his shenanigans.
This might skip the second Big Bang. There is so much damage being pushed out right now that it's just, I think we're going to push right into Meteo phase here. Between 3 Zerkers and even, there's the Meteo.
Canes, why? Why can you not dodge a Meteo? They're just giant falling rocks, y'all.
On a crash, boom, bang, and Magismus goes down again on Cubs Rule side for 147.25. Just amazing how quickly. This is still a very good time for this seed that Cubs did almost 17-17. So, still get your GGs in for all of our runners tonight. Cubs Rule 21, Rybon, Rex Banner, and Moonblaze Wolf. We'll see if Cubs wants to chat about this, at least briefly.
And while we wait to see if we'll get Cubs in for an interview, again, thank you so much to our behind-the-scenes staff with Scala on Restream, Zald on tracking. 4-player tracking is very, 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 very hard. And of course, to my co-commentator, Vitasia, it is always a pleasure.
We always have a great time, Allie, so right back at you.
And it looks like Cubs is going to go ahead and decline the interview, but we are going to be ready for our announcement. I hope y'all are excited.
We need to see some more excitement here in chat. Come on, let's have it rolling.
Hi, everyone. Now they can hear me.
Hi, Scala.
Hi. So, as folks have kind of assumed, yeah. So the announcement is the actual name of the tournament. It's the type of tournament that it is. It's all the things. But yeah. So welcome everyone to the Eblin Elixir League. The most important thing that you need to know: this is going to be a team tournament. Which has sort of been like the big thing we've been keeping close to the chest. Let me actually go ahead and like properly read out the announcement that I wrote for the Discord, which is, there are many different ways to train and hone your skills. And while glorious single combat is probably the most well-known, there is the time-honored tradition of teamwork. And, kicking back with a few choice drinks with your friends if you want. And so with that spirit of both friendly competition and friendlier cooperation in mind, we're going to welcome everyone to the Eblin Elixir team, our very first team tournament. So players are going to be arranged into teams of 4, and then the teams themselves will face off against each other over the course of the event. Players can sign up solo and be sorted into those teams, or they can join up with 1 or 2 friends, or even form a whole team together. Basically what we're looking for is that the individual teams include players with a variety of skill levels, so that way we have a nice balanced experience for everyone. And the event is going to be divided up into 3 rounds. First round will be the first 4 weeks of the tournament. That's going to be that Potion Party flag set that we did for the last 2 weeks of the community races. Second round will be 4 weeks of the Moonveil Mixer flag set. And then the third round will be 2 weeks of playoffs and between the top 4 teams, and it's going to be a mix of both flag sets. Alongside the playoffs, we're also going to have these special title round bonus async matches that will be open to all the other teams. And it's going to be just a really, really fun time. Yes, as Possum says, we're going to try to break up like really top runners into separate teams. We want there to be a nice mix of everyone. We want it so that way our more veteran players can help some of our newer, more casual players get into the competitive scene. We just want everyone to kind of have a nice chance working together and scoring off. Yes, it is a 4-player format for 4-player teams. And don't worry, in the Discord we'll have a link to the rules document, we'll have a link to the sign-up sheet. Our plan is to run from April 4th until June 18th. There's going to be a break week from May 29th to June 4th that kind of coincides with Summer Games Done Quick. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to open up those signups. We're going to get that all squared away tonight. Signups will be open until March 28th at 3 a.m. ET. I know that's a bit of a weird time. That's to account for all of our wonderful West Coast friends, to give them enough time to sign up. And it's just going to be a really, really fun time. Now, Allie and I obviously knew about this. But Tasia, what do you think?
I have been waiting for a team space tournament for so long. Not because I want to be carried because I don't want to be carried. But I think this is a great way, and I think in particular highlights one of the founding principles of the free enterprise community, which is build your bench up. You know, I think this community has done a fantastic job of, as new blood comes in, we're all helping each other out between the Pink Puff League, between the community clubs that are always teaching new folks the ins and outs of running this particular speed run. It's real easy to get burnt out doing things too frequently. So, you know, people cycle in, get a break, come in and out, come in and out. But there's always the new blood. And this is a fantastic, refreshing new way to get some of the new folks who are out there who may be a little tournament shy, maybe have only done a handful of races out there. Yeah, come on, join.
Yes.
It sounds like it's going to be a free-for-all in terms of getting the different team members together. So,
yes.
Great.
Yeah, it's just sort of like as we explained, basically, when you sign up, we'll ask, like, do you want to sign up with another person? Like, say, for folks who like our 2v2 club, the Torian Tango, say you and your Tango partner want to sign up. Awesome, great, we're super happy to have you. And we will, the admin team will then help, like, find, like, other people to round out your team. And you can totally do that if you want. If you want to try and put together, like, a group of friends, that's also okay. But basically, we just want this to be a really, really fun time for everyone. And I think, you know, the fact that we'll be, you know, sort of putting together... Firebuzz is saying, everyone puts Martin, including Martin putting down Martin. Haha! We actually have a system involved where everyone who's joining up as a group all has to name each other to make sure you can't just say, I'm on a team with Martin without Martin's express permission. That was built into the rules. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really fun time. The admin team has been working super duper hard on this. Allie can attest, it's been a few months of discussion.
Well,
I mean, we have like 5 hours of meetings.
Yes, there are many meetings. But they're very productive meetings. We actually did a good job, I feel. But I think it's been a really, really fun time. I want to thank everyone who's been working super duper hard on all of this. And really, I think this is going to be a really, really fun event, for sure. And we'll have all the information in the Discord. Like, as soon as this stream wraps, I'll be posting announcements. I'll be opening up a discussion channel, doing all those fun tournament things. Yes, as Moonveil says, you might say it was a team effort. Allie's gonna ban me. It's gonna be great.
But get hype, y'all. This is going to be a super fun time. We've been so excited to share this with you.
Yes, absolutely. But now we have to find somewhere to take all this really good energy. Oh no, everyone's in the race.
Yeah, everyone's either in the race or they logged off to listen to this amazing announcement,
This is
right?
true! This is true! Oh no, we hyped everything up too much. Well,
Blasphemy, no such thing as too much hype.
fair enough. I'll give one quick look. But you know what? I think maybe we'll just end on this high note. Thank you all so much for for coming out. Like I said, we'll have all the information for y'all soon. Thank you all so much, and I hope you all have a fabulous evening. Cheers and good luck in the Evelyn Elixir League, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thank you so much.
Take care.